And
go.
we live. 1, 2, 1, 2.
We're
Yeah.
back, baby.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. The internet was acting up, but this is gonna be a part 2. We're gonna finish this off real quick. I don't remember where we left off, so we're just gonna keep moving. Keep on moving. I think this question will be quite quick to answer before we get into Ecclesiastes. Are we excessively living, thinking, acting, and reacting based on our emotions? Does that make sense?
Excessively, you say.
Like, are we excessively living, thinking, acting, and reacting
in
based
today's
on our emotions?
age,
in today's society?
Yes.
Are we like excessively?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What what we are emotional beings already anyway, but we are not so basically we are living and reacting and doing all those things in a not healthy way, I should say.
Okay.
A lot more in a non-healthy way. But we've always
Yeah, but
we just
anything excessively becomes unhealthy, right?
Unhealthy, yeah. In an unhealthy way.
For you, Angelo?
Yeah, I think there's something too, but I think we've kind of gone a step beyond it to the point where you're not even allowed to have emotions anymore. You're not allowed to have an opinion anymore. Like if you see something that outrages you, you speak up about it. You may get cancelled for it.
Isn't it the dual extremist point where it's like we're not allowed to have emotions
because everyone is so emotional.
Because everyone is so emotional, and we scream on the top of the lungs like let's be tolerant, but then if we don't like what's being said, then we're not tolerant. Like,
yeah, it's basically that at this point. So I think we've gone beyond it. We've got held on that gas for so long. It's just gone beyond repair now.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Cool. That's it. Let's move on then. The next topic is a topic that Angelo brought it up, and I thought it would be good to talk about it since you brought it up like Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. So it's Ecclesiastes. You asked us if we have read it. I have read it. I have listened to it.
It's a small book. It's like just 12 chapters, isn't it?
Yeah, and Frank also have read it. I'm sure of it. So, I don't know if you have any questions, any points that you want to make, Angelo. Just take it away. Let's see what you want to.
No, like I just thought it was an interesting read. Like it was almost.
What did you get from it?
Nothing outside of like everything we do really doesn't matter, except if you focus on maybe what's the best way? What's the best way of saying it? Like living for God, for example. That's what you that's your only way you can ever truly find purpose. Because in that you try to live in more harmony with yourself in the universe, with your fellow man, with it's like it brings you balance to a certain degree, because everything that we do in the end is like almost like for nothing, because even like time swallows everything. It swallows even like the great kingdoms, all of them get forgotten with time. Yeah, so basically that's how I say, like it helps you find, it's like a book that almost helps you find peace in a storm, if that makes any sense.
Is there any chapter or verse that you can remember from memory now that was this really caught my attention?
The last chapter. It's my favorite one. So that's why I don't butcher it. Give me 1 second.
So which version of the Bible do you have?
Of the NIV version.
So in your version, I think is Psalms, Proverbs, Songs of Songs, and Ecclesiastes. Is that the order?
Yeah.
I have the Tanakh, so it's the Jewish Bible. So the order is different for this one.
Is it translated or is it in the original
I have it in
language?
English and Hebrew. And it goes Psalms, Proverbs, Job, Ruth, Lamentations, and then Ecclesiastes.
Like the book of Job too, an interesting book as well.
It's also one of the wisdom books. Anyway, which
so I got the last bit of chapter 12, yeah, chapter 12 verse 9 was like not only was the teacher wise, but he also imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. The teacher said to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like gods. The collected sayings like firmly embedded nails given by one shepherd. Be one, my son, of anything in addition to them. Of making many books, there is no end, and much study, where is the body?
And what did you take from that?
So like for everything we do, yeah, we never find satisfaction. We just keep on climbing that ladder. We just keep on finding something new. We'll just keep on adapting. We'll always try to find more money. We're always gonna try to get more sleep. We're always gonna try to get more entertainment. We're gonna try to get more cool gadgets. It's a journey that never ends. And that's what I was saying, that like it's almost like we are locked in it. We are locked in it, like all of us mankind, we're locked in it. And basically, so like you're not the only one going through it. Everyone is going through it. So it's okay. That's what I get from it.
Okay, cool. Do you have any questions about the book or something that you saw? Any interesting thoughts?
The question I had, like, I would have thought it would be easiest safe to say that it's Solomon that wrote it, yeah?
Sorry?
Do you think it's Solomon that wrote it?
No, it wasn't Solomon. It was a dude called so there was a dude that wrote it and the dude that wrote that published it. So the dude that published it, his name was
because it said it was written by a king of Israel, a son of David.
Israel. It was written by a teaching and a proverb of an Israelite king who called himself Kohelet. Kohelet. So Qohelet, which means assembler.
That's Solomon.
Assembler, Kohelet.
That's Solomon. That's just the title of the book. Ecclesiastes in Hebrew, it's Kohelet, which means assembly. So the Solomon's talking in
Solomon, yeah?
person. Yeah, it's him. He's the author.
Is it?
Yeah. Kohelet just means assembly or congregation. So because the book it's in the context of him talking to other people, to a congregation, to assembly.
So it's a teaching prose of an Israelite king called okay. But they could have put here that it's the nigger, but they decided to put Kohelet. Okay.
No, because I think it's because it's the title of the book. Because in the first page, they say the words of Kohelet, son of David, king of Jerusalem, in Jerusalem. So it's Solomon.
Oh
But
yeah, and there's more to the chapter 12 as well, where it goes like, remember your creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come, and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark, and the clouds return after the rain, when the keepers of the house tremble and the strong men stoop, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim, when the doors to the streets are closed and the sound of grinding fades, when people rise up the sound of birds, but all their songs grow faint, when people are afraid of heights and of danger in the streets, when the almond tree blossoms and the grasshopper drags itself along and desire no longer is stirred, then people go to their eternal home and mourners go about the streets. Remember him before the silver, and then remember the silver cord severed, and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher shattered at the spring, and the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. And he ends it right there. All you do. And he's talking from the perspective of a guy that had everything. He had the slaves, he had the women, he had the Ferraris, he had the private jets, like he had the mad kingdoms, he had everything you could ever want. He just marks that, clipped. He was like, all right, there's no point of all of this. There's no point. He got to that level. And there's a danger. I think the wisdom there's a danger in acquiring too much in life, because your value of meaning tend to degrade the more wealthy you become. Your sense of value degrades. Things that were valuable to you once become less valuable. Like something as simple as driving yourself becomes less valuable. Things like having your favorite pair of shoes become less valuable because you can just buy a new shoe every day. Or
yeah,
even
because you give someone something that is an object that is considered valuable, and because of that valuable object, they exchange a service for it, so that you no longer had to do it. So the less you have your hands in something, the less valuable it tends to be. Unless it is hard for you to make the means in order to purchase that service, because then that service has more value because of the work you have done previous to purchasing. Instead of, if you make a lot of money, then you don't necessarily have that certain pressure to put value on certain things.
I think the ultimate message from the book of Ecclesiastes is the heart, where your heart is whenever you're trying to acquire whatever you need to acquire. Are you just trying to acquire things just for the sake of acquiring to try and be the top, or are you acquiring because because the things are just coming onto you? Like you are not working so hard, because there's a difference between people that work hard to get whatever they need to get and people that just work and enjoy the work that they do and end up acquiring the things based on, like the love that they put into the work that they did and the reciprocation of what they actually put in. There's a difference. And sometimes there's some people in this life that have never worked a day in their life, but they do work. They do work and get money in return. But to them, they've never worked because, like they do the work, just like he explained it there, like when you do your work, you have to do it as if you're doing it for God. It's like you're working for God. When you get to that point, you won't work any day. Like you won't feel like you're working. And as a result, you'll receive things that you need, not the things that you want, but the things that you need. And there's a difference, because a lot of us, we're driven, especially men, we are ambitious. We are ambitious and we're driven by material things, because we need to acquire things so that we can sustain ourselves, so we can keep ourselves, so we can provide for family, so we can, also what I'm looking for, so we can survive and move on to the future. However, there's a big problem whenever you just start to want to do the work for yourself, or just to do the work because you want to be on the top. And what that book really for me spoke to me was whatever you do, whatever wisdom you're looking for, whatever possession or money or whatever you're looking for, there's nothing wrong with that. However, whenever you do whatever you do, you need to do it as if you're doing it for God. Put God in everything that you do. It's like there's a Bible verse again that says, like God says, seek the kingdom of God and everything shall be added unto you. And, like having the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. And when you have grasped that understanding and that idea, and you start to work like you're working for God, whatever you acquire, you can even have mansions, you can have, because things just coming onto you, and obviously you don't want to reject them. But if things just keep coming to you because of the work that you put in, because of the love that you have, you end up giving it away. So you won't even end up being a billionaire, but then you will still be getting stuff and you will still be giving out things because you're generous. And therefore, you will find most of those people, you won't even hear about them because they're so humble, they're so chill. You won't hear about them. But then there are other people that look at those people, they're like, I want to be like that person. And though they start to work so hard to try and get whatever they need to get, but not knowing you can work so hard, you can achieve all the things that you can achieve. You can gain wisdom, you can get riches and wealth. But at the end of the day, what are you doing it for? Because we'll end up going to die anyway, and someone else is going to use your money, and it's all going to be for everything's just going to be in vain. So, so that's what I got from that from that book.
So, as far as I know, Ecclesiastes is one of the wisdom's books. It was written by Solomon, but it was written much later in his life, when he was like much older, after he built everything and acquired everything and had all those 100 wives. And then because of the influence of the wives, who a lot of them were from different countries, he got influenced into worship idols, which is a form of harlotry, or that's the language that it's used in is Ezekiel, Hosea, some of the prophets, that Israel has become a prostitute, was prostituting themselves with other gods, because in the Bible there's this reference as the people and God being in a marriage situation. That's why Jesus is the groom and the church is the bride. It obviously is more of a human reference, so we can understand that sort of relationship and how we walked away from, and after all of that apparently that's when he wrote this book. And if you read up until the end, most of it is very critical, and then towards the end you find some hope. I mean, the book is self-explanatory in a sense. Everything it is meaningless under the sun. to be honest. You can acquire everything and all, but at some point you come to the realization that it's utterly futile.
Mhm.
The only thing that can give purpose to everything is God, is not just the fear of God, that God is the hope, that God is the one who gives and takes, that God is the one who gives life and takes it away, that God is the center of everything, that He's the only one who speaks things into being and speaks things in not to being. He is, He was, and He is to come, and God transcends everything in life.
So that's knowing God, yeah.
The purpose of the book is all about focusing on God.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. He says like over and over again. It's just what is it? The right phrase. It's right in the beginning too. Okay, he makes beneath the sun. Is it something with the wind that he keeps saying over and over again? What is it? What real value is there for man in all the gains he makes beneath the sun? All streams from in the sea, but you could not. Nothing is new beneath the sun. But it's true. Nothing is new beneath the sun. Everything that we think it's already been done in a way.
Everything.
It's like chasing of the wind. Is that what he keeps saying? Chasing of the wind? I think so. Like, have you ever tried to chase the wind? We're gonna go very
Which you
far
can
with
never
that.
catch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is chasing of the wind. You're chasing after the wind with everything.
Have you ever noticed the people that are so rich? They always want to be rich, and they always want to acquire a lot more stuff. Invest a lot more and do a lot more things going on with the money and stuff like that. They never get satisfied with what they have.
Mm-mm.
At the end of the day, that's the prison even.
It's
That's the reverse cycle prison.
it's hamster wheel. You just keep going. So basically, you're just running a race where you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're running in circles.
Running in circles.
You're running after your own back.
Because you're chasing something, you're looking for something to fill you up, but you can't find it.
Yeah, you're chasing the wind.
But the only person that can fill you up is God, aka Jesus.
Yeah, true.
The knowing of God.
That's the only thing that gives meaning to anything.
And
really.
once you start to chase God, you start to want to know God. You actually sort of start to understand who God is. He might give you, or he might not give you. How will you feel if he doesn't give you? If you actually know God, you will be in peace.
That's true.
And how about if he gives you and you know him? How will you feel? You will also be in peace. You won't be trying to chase and trying to maximize and trying to invest and trying to do a whole bunch of different things just to try and be on the top. You won't try to do that. You won't try to show off. You won't try to be like, hey, I'm better than you, or I'm better than you. No, you wouldn't want that, because you already feel it. You don't need to show off. You don't need to show yourself that you have this, that you've done this, that you've done that, stuff like that. It's not only with possession, but it's also just with the smallest things in our life. Even just having a conversation with someone, putting someone down, something like that, stuff like that. Loving people, having empathy.
No, it's like you said before. It says here too. No man can ever. The eye never has enough of seeing, not the ear enough of hearing.
There you go.
That's what you said. Only that shall happen, which has happened. Only that occur, which has occurred. There's nothing new beneath the sun. There is nothing new beneath the sun.
So what book, isn't it?
That's a nice book.
Interesting though. I'm planning on reading Job next. Reading Job.
Okay, once you read the whole book and you get to the end, let me know what do you think the book is about.
No.
No. Let me know what do you think Job got out of the conversation.
No. I think we should look at it this way. We should look at it as, what did you get from the book?
No. I'm asking a specific question.
Oh,
Like once
him.
you read the whole thing, let me know what do you think Job got out of that conversation.
With his lamentations with God, huh? Why are you doing this to me? And then God is like, my nigga, I've made the universe. Like the things I think about are beyond you, bro. God is like, okay. That's what I remember from Sunday school, at least. But
Sunday school.
I try to read it properly now with an adult perspective and see what's the message properly behind it. Yeah, because God allowed a lot of atrocities to happen to him and certain Testament stuff. I do remember that too. And even like suffered extreme loss as well. I'll read it and then I'll come back to you. All right. And on that note,
cool.
Let's go
it's
to
time
bed.
to end because we all tired and the conversation is going.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we're running out of things to say.
Yeah. So I gotta go to sleep now.
All right, everybody. Sorry if this episode wasn't full of energy.
Hey, no apologies.
All right, we don't apologize. I don't care. We did the best that we could. I was trying to be polite, but I don't care. We did the best that we could.
Look at
You
this.
got what you needed. I'm pretty sure you can get something out of this. We did our best with what we had, that we had with the
Hopefully
time
spoke to someone, and
yes, hopefully
one love.
Somebody. So
indeedly.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next episode. Have a good week. God bless. Peace out.
Peace out.
Boom.
Wait.